Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I just got to host this on my channel.
We're not recording a show today. We're just going to fritter
We're
away
on
our
our
afternoons.
phones.
That's it. That's all we're doing.
Yep. That's it. This is a talk show where we just talk about what we're looking at on
It's
our
a
phones.
real slice of life. It's a slice of life. Looks downright angelic behind me today.
Is that a Lord of the Rings game? What's going on? I think it is. Hold on, I gotta
No.
figure out what this is.
They don't want to see this.
Hold on.
No.
Wait, is this Mortal Kombat versus a dragon? Hold on. We gotta figure this out together. Is
We
this a new
don't.
Skyrim?
We don't. Just
6 seconds. I just need to see a title. Oh, nope, he's a skeleton warrior. Oh, it's Elder Scroll Online. Not worth it. Not worth it. Hey, did you find that to be worth it?
new.
Boy, how are you doing?
Good.
Nice. Of course you're doing good. Nick's going to look at a house
I'm fine.
in Washington State.
No way. Not after that trip to Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
It really turned me off of Seattle.
Well, sure. Seattle. What was that?
I don't know.
It
Yours,
was
I
your-
guess.
No, it was not mine. That was yours.
No, mine's
That
off.
was yours.
Mine's muted. All right, let's do it. Let's roll.
You have another one over there.
That's muted. Can't we just do the episode?
Yes, but what was that sound?
People are dropping like flies.
Gosh. Welcome to episode 127 of the All the
What?
Book Show.
127.
Oh, I got confused. Hold on. Ahem. Welcome to episode 207 of the All the Book Show, recorded at the David A. Howe Public Library. We talk book news, author news, and literary news. Today, we have a reoccurring segment.
We do.
But what will that segment be?
It's going to be a surprise.
Is it a surprise?
No, it's not a surprise. We're doing a Lonely Hearts Book Club, everybody.
All right, well, then that's it.
The segment this show was built on. I do want to point out, if you're just tuning in, you didn't hear the part before Eric started recording. You're probably wondering why he emphasized the 07 so much in episode 207, because you started by saying this was episode 127.
What makes you think I'm not going to cut this out?
I just want to know why. I just want to know why you thought we were in episode 127.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
Did you
know.
like that episode? Was that a good episode?
I can't even. All right, you research what 127 is,
Okay.
and I'll introduce ourselves.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Eric Mickles.
I'm Nick Gunning. Was that all the time you're buying me?
I just watched Being John Malkovich. It's not really
Really?
a bookmark because it's not based on a book.
We were talking about the Edgar nominees, episode 127.
I have no idea
the
why
2018
came into my
Edgar
head.
nominees we were talking about.
Look,
Did you
I-
like those Edgars?
No, I just don't. I don't know.
Well,
Sometimes
you know
I say
what?
things.
How about we do episode 207, huh?
Okay.
Shy guy?
What is
How about we do that?
All right.
He's Eric Mickles. I'm Nick Gunning. And we are going to be talking about a Lonely Hearts Book Club today,
Mhm.
which is exciting. The very first one we ever did was
Yeah.
Thinning the Turkey Herd,
Oh boy.
which was by, Robin Campbell, was it?
Yeah.
And that was a Jimmy mystery. Jimmy's
Yeah.
got to do what Jimmy's got to
Oh,
do.
man,
Remember
I
that?
don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, good times. What
Yeah.
we do is I run a report and I find a list of something that's never circulated before, and we just try to figure out why. And I got a doozy for us today, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I bring up our very first episode because we're in a home stretch here of hitting our, do you want to guess how many year anniversary?
3.
4.
Oh wow.
4.
Boy, that
That's
last year
right.
went by like crazy. Then.
Sure did. Sure did, like a rocket. First episode aired August 21st, 2015.
Hey.
So we're coming up on that. What do you get somebody for a 4th anniversary?
Pearls.
Is it pearls?
But you also have to go
Wow.
down a dark alley with your family, and if you're able to make it out alive,
Okay.
with the pearls still attached,
Yeah.
you get to keep the pearls.
Oh,
Otherwise, you're shot, and your son becomes
Okay.
a vengeful spirit of the night.
linen.
Linen? Don't you
Linen.
dare get me linen.
Linen.
There's always there's a classic, and then there's a modern gift.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one is linen? Probably the classic.
I would say that's classic.
what's
I
the
don't, I don't
modern
see a
one?
lot of modern.
I bet it's just like a Kindle.
You know what? I'll tell you. I'll tell you when we're in the anniversary episode. All right.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
we're taking too much time
Yeah.
talking about this non-event.
Oh, suddenly it's a non-event.
Oh, this is gonna be a doozy
Enjoy
today.
your towel with the letters NG
You know, I like having Ben here playing the music
for 4 years.
as he did last week,
Oh,
playing
yeah.
it live, because then we actually get to hear it.
Yeah.
Now we have to do this whole thing where we pretend like we're
Yeah.
hearing it, but we're not really hearing
Yeah,
it.
this is an acting game.
Let's do it right now.
Okay.
That
was great.
sound means that it's time for our bookmark.
Yeah.
Boy, I love hearing that music, as I just did.
Also, I guess I'm in a car, and oh no, it's out of gas.
Oh, this is another acting
This
thing?
is another acting game.
Okay.
Hello. Yes. Oh no, I don't have reception. What else am I holding?
Wow.
It could be a banana.
Wow.
Hello. Oh, I got my potassium.
Look, I don't want to toot my own horn, but
Uh-huh.
I directed Eric in his first play. So if what you're seeing here interests you,
yeah,
well,
you don't get to that level of the car.
of-
The
tip
cell
of the
phone is
hat
also a banana
to
without
myself.
Nick's direction.
to myself. All right, but we are going to talk about our bookmarks.
You're gonna talk about it.
Am I? No, I think you should go first today.
I'm at the laptop. It's like asking the person driving the car
Yeah.
to also steer the car.
That's
Same.
how you do it. That's how you do it.
Okay.
Maybe like open a pickle jar.
Oh yeah.
That's
you
like
don't-
asking the person
yeah.
driving to open a pickle
Yeah.
jar. I'm pretty good at driving
Don't
with
do
my
that.
knees. So
Anyway, I've been reading Armor by John Stakely.
I don't know why this doesn't stick in my head. Tell me again what this is, though.
It's a military science fiction novel
Yes,
from
okay.
1983.
Oh, hey, you know what? I'm from 1983.
Yeah. Armor has a little bit more people know about
More
Armor.
of a je ne sais quoi. Really? Because I know all about myself and I've never heard of this book.
I know.
So,
It's pretty brutal. I finished the first part.
and
It's good. I never feel like I'm making progress in it because there's just a lot there. But he's a pretty depressed, pragmatic character. But
did you get a word of the day calendar? I need to know this for real.
I know what
Did you?
pragmatic is.
I know, but earlier you said apropos, and I just
Apropos is not a big word.
I know that, but the way you're just throwing these out at me, I just feel like you're locked and loaded. Is it to impress me because it's working?
All right.
I am impressed.
Anyways, this is military sci-fi, but it's more cerebral than you might be.
Oh, woo!
Okay. No, there's a part in here where the character he finds out that there's a sequence of codes on your armor, on your military
Ooh,
armor, which
okay.
causes it to explode in a massive explosion. And he's down there fighting these like ant-like aliens, and he's with somebody else who's being captured.
Okay.
And instead of saving him, he puts the sequence in for the other person and then runs. And the guy's
Wowzer.
like, "You're a nasty human being." He's like, "Okay."
Wowzer. What? Somebody on his own team?
Yeah.
On his own side?
Yeah.
Jeez. He is nasty. He is nasty.
So
So the idea there is so that you could, if it was a losing situation, you could cue in your own thing
Yeah.
and be like,
Yeah.
sayonara,
Yeah.
everyone. That's stressful.
yeah.
I mean, I've experienced a similar stress when you're trying to watch something and you need the 4-digit passcode for the Roku.
Okay.
It's tense. It's tense when you got to type in that
That's
sequence
the
quickly.
same situation you have.
There's
as you
pressure.
think he did
There is pressure.
fighting an unending army of space ants.
There's pressure.
Okay, sure. All right. Anyway, that's what I'm reading.
Space ants.
I finished the 6 volumes of Descender by Jeff Lemire.
Oh, I've read some Jeff Lemire.
So Dustin
Hoffman?
McGowan
Oh, sorry.
is the artist. I don't know if you ever read Little Gotham. Little Gotham.
No, we have it, so I mean,
Okay.
I've seen it. But
He's the artist for this,
Okay.
and so it's this kind of like
Interesting.
watercolor type of art.
yeah.
And this is like a big space opera about robots and mankind and everything. It's a really good science fiction story. It's a lot of really good world building. Nothing that's too like blow your mind, earth shattering. It's a very solid time. I gave the whole
Okay.
series 5 stars, but every volume was just like 4 stars worth of it. And it has a sequel series. The trade comes out in October called Ascender.
Oh, are you all in?
Yeah, I'm all in.
I'm a big fan of Jeff Lemire's take on the Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
He did Teen Titans
yeah.
Earth 1.
Yep.
Volume 1 of that is
Mhm.
aces. It's top notch. Volume
Okay.
2 is okay, but Volume 1 is great. We do have that in our
You also
collection.
read his Old Man
I did.
Logan, and
The series, yeah.
he wrote at least some of the rebirth of Green Arrow.
Oh,
for
did
DC.
he? Okay.
So
I feel like he's also worked on Red Hood and the Outlaws, but maybe I'm wrong.
You're thinking Scott Lobdell.
I might be.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, I really liked it. This was good. I'm going to stick with it. If you are looking for a fun science fiction comic series, definitely check out Descender. It's only 6 volumes, and each volume is only like 5 issues, but it's great. So that's what I read. Oh, no, I have one other thing I want to talk about in Bookmark.
Oh, let's do it.
I watched The Firm.
John Grisham's The Firm?
I watched John Grisham's The Firm starring
Wow.
Tom Cruise.
Okay.
I bring it
And?
up because it's based on John Grisham. So what was it? What number do you remember?
It is.
John
Of
Grisham?
our Grisham episode?
Yeah, we did a whole one.
I
'cause
know. That was a
You
good
and your
one.
brother, both big fans of Grisham.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
So this is 1993's The Firm.
Oh.
Basically, recently, my wife suggested we watch The Fugitive, which I had never seen.
Love The Fugitive.
Harrison
I
Ford
can't
film.
believe you've never seen that.
Yeah, I had never seen it, so we watched it. And then I was still in this kind of like 90s thriller mood, so we watched The Firm with Tom Cruise.
I'm very on the fence about that movie
Mm-hmm.
because first of all, recently there was the sequel series with what's his
No
name?
idea. Josh Gad.
No.
Josh Groban.
Josh Lucas, I want to say,
Oh, okay,
from like
that
Sweet
makes
Home
sense.
Alabama
Yeah,
and other
Josh
things.
Lucas. And Talbot in Hulk. Ang
Really?
Lee's Hulk. He
You're
was
right.
Talbot.
He was Talbot in Hulk. I think the book is much more interesting than the movie.
Maybe.
I think where the movie goes,
Mhm.
I don't find the conclusion to the movie satisfying.
Right.
I think it's a little. This is a '90s movie, right?
Yeah,
See,
1993.
I think they want to make the Tom Cruise character a little bit more.
Well, this Tom Cruise character has an affair.
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching the movie, and I said to my wife, I'm like, I don't think he would, like in his contract, he probably wouldn't be able to make such decadent decisions in his movies.
Mm.
He would always have to appear as like, a good soul.
Yeah, that could be true.
So
That could be true.
But anyway, it kind of fell apart like at the beginning of the third act for me because my wife thinks this was on purpose, but I started to lose the plot a little bit. And I
Okay.
wasn't sure what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Hackman was okay in it. He didn't really blow me away.
I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan of Gene Hackman?
No, I'm a fan of Gene Hackman.
Oh,
I just
okay.
don't think that this book. I mean, the movie has a very, I don't know, the pacing is really good. So it's a page turner. You're kind of on the edge of your seat. There's a lot of ambiguity about like who's good, who's bad, and all that. And I just think the book, the movie, kind of.
They give Tom Cruise a brother who's in jail that he's helping.
Yeah.
So every decision he makes is kind of altruistic. And at the end, he kind of realizes, why did he get into the law in the first place?
Yeah.
Why did he become a lawyer the first time around?
See,
So he
things
learns.
go down differently in the book,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit less like a squeaky clean, like motivations and things there, which I think makes for a much more intriguing story.
The soundtrack is what did I use? Anyways, it was an incessant piano soundtrack, just
Was it?
nonstop jazz piano. I was losing my mind. He'd be like driving, there'd be like this chase, and the music was like.
That sounds fun.
It was so annoying.
I think that's the score to Home Alone.
It was the
that
Home
playing
Alone
in the
score
other room?
reused.
Okay.
So, anyways, that's what I guess this might be my first John Grisham movie.
Really?
I've
you
never
haven't
seen The Rainmaker.
Runaway Jury or
No.
Oh.
Or
okay.
what was the other one? The Lincoln Lawyer. I've never seen that.
Well, that's Michael Connelly, so that would have not been relevant.
Okay.
But that, you know what? Lincoln Lawyer, great movie, great book.
All
Check
right.
that out. And we do have a whole spotlight on Michael Connelly as well. If you're looking for the John Grisham episode, soundcloud.com/allthebooks, it is episode 20.
Oh, wow. That was early.
It was very early.
Goodness.
Very early in the days of this run.
All right.
So.
You want to go?
Yeah.
No,
sure.
I mean, you want to go? Want to take this outside? Oh, my gosh. He just batted away. He's been waiting for that.
Well, it was really satisfying, too, the way I pushed
Yeah.
this microphone away.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
It had a good vibe to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it for you?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
why I asked if you wanted to go.
All right. Episode 42 is our spotlight on Michael Connelly. If you want to check that out.
About the
My
Lincoln
brother,
Lawyer.
Steven, is in both of them.
Yeah.
So if you're for the podcast because you're a fan of Steve, check out those two episodes. 20 for John Grisham, 42 for Michael
All right.
Connelly. Boy, I'll tell you,
What?
it's like you and I have traded places this time around because remember when you were going through that Venom situation where all you read was Venom and every week you'd be like, I read Venom.
Hey, that's not what I sounded like.
It is what
You
you
think I
sounded
sound like Philip Seymour Hoffman when I talk about Venom? Turn the page.
You have a symbiote? I'm going to hurt it.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to use fire. I'm going to use sound. High frequency.
With apologies to J.J. Abrams and
the late
cast
Philip
of
Seymour
Mission
Hoffman.
Impossible 3. So
Tom Cruise.
Hey, better than that.
Wow.
I've been reading a lot of Green Lantern.
Okay. Hey, real quick.
Yes.
I don't know if this is where it began, but in the firm, Tom Cruise told his wife that that the firm he was working for has bugged the house and they're listening.
Yeah.
And she runs out and he fully books after her. Arms in that Terminator position. He is all in. I don't know if this is the first time we
Could be the
saw
birth of
Tom
it.
Cruise's machine run.
Could be the birth
But
of it.
as soon as he did, she's like, and he's like, "Arr!" It was terrifying.
That's good
if
times.
If I was married and my spouse came at me at that speed with
Yeah.
that intensity, I'd
Yeah.
be screaming
You'd be
for
running.
help.
You'd be running.
All right.
I've been reading a lot of Green Lantern. That's
Okay.
all. I've got the DC Universe app. I was trying to read the Rebirth stuff. I got to Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns, and it was like, you need to read all the other stuff.
All right.
And you and I both were big into the Jeff Johns era Green Lantern, like the New 52 and setup to New 52 with Blackest Night and all that. So I was like, I think I'll go back and maybe pick some of this up. And I was just going to read the last volume. And then I was like, well, I should start before. And then I was like, So I ended up going back to where I left off in 2014?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I tried the same
It's been
thing.
some years. So I actually read quite a few of the collections. I read Green Lantern, The End, Volume 3. I read Volume 4, Dark Days. I read Volume 5, Test of Wills. I read Green Lantern Corps, number 4, Rebuild, number 5, Uprising. But I'm going to focus on one called Lights Out, which is pretty good. That brings the Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps together. And there's a nice collection that brings all the relevant issues so you don't have to be jumping around.
Right.
This is by Robert Venditti, and this is pretty good. They've got a good villain who's coming in basically saying all of the rings are draining the energy of the world. Right. You guys got to go, and it's a big epic battle.
I know 9 of the rings are given to man, who above all else desired power.
Boy, I'm not going to get this reference.
That's Lord of the Rings.
Okay. That
might have been misquoted. I'll know when my wife complains.
That's true. Yeah.
So Dark Days you're talking about.
I am talking about Lights Out.
Oh, okay.
Green Lantern Lights Out.
Which volume is this?
It's not a numbered volume. It takes issues from both of Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. So Green Lantern Lights Out, pretty good.
I don't think I read this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have just read some of the issues are collected in the regular trades of the titles. But anyway, like I said, big villain comes, basically going to turn out all of the lights, all of the yellow lanterns, the red, everything. And so they have to kind of team up and work together to stop this threat. But then that also exposes some issues that kind of influences the rest of the series. So it's been a really fun read, and I've been finding all this stuff that I'd missed a while back. And it is convoluted. It's hard. Without the app to be able to put things in order, it would be next to impossible to follow. So
I read Willpower, Dark Days, Rebuild, and then Test of Wills.
Okay, so Dark Days is the one that has a lot of the Lights Out issues in it.
Okay.
So
Here's what I wrote. Tell me if I'm off, and I need to reread it.
Okay.
So I don't remember when I read this. But anyway, I feel like after Jeff Johns' run, Venditti might have been better off doing something smaller for Green Lantern. The concept for this big, title-spanning story is interesting, but it's very, very close to Johns' last tale. Plus, when you look at John's run, he started out with smaller single-issue tales to reintroduce Hal Jordan and build towards bigger problems. He didn't start with the Sinestro Corps War, but when he got there, we were ready. Venditti didn't get us ready, and that hurts this whole volume. After everything the Lantern Corps and Hal have been through, some downtime might have been appreciated.
Okay, so that was Eric's review for Green Lantern Volume 4, Dark Days, which I don't think we have this in our collection, do we? Okay, but we can get it for you, as always. You're right and wrong.
Okay.
Because first of all, reading Volume 4, you're not getting the whole story.
Okay.
I think if you'd read Lights Out, you'd feel a little differently about it.
All right.
I agree with you that at that point I was sick of big, like, universe-spanning stories, but you need this story to sever
the ties of Jeff Johns.
Yes, basically things that have happened before, so that going forward, spinning out of that, you can tell smaller stories.
Because what happens after this, with the rings?
Well, basically, they're saying only the Green Lanterns are going to exist, and everybody else kind of has to go down.
Oh.
In order to get the Red Lanterns, this is so nerdy, I'm sorry, everyone. In order to get the Red Lanterns to help them, Hal has to give up a sector, and the Red Lanterns choose the sector that Earth is in. So now none of the Green Lanterns can go to Earth except for Simon Baz, who's assigned there, and can stay under special permission.
Okay.
So you've got that going on. You've got the Red Lanterns over Earth. Then you've got Hal taking leadership of the Green Lantern. So you have John Stewart leading the Green Lantern Corps series. You've got Hal in this sort of like presidential role, and it's bringing out some other characters. So it's actually it is a story, but it's a good story, but it's hard to follow.
Okay, so I should have read this as more of like a big deck clearing issue rather than like a big event that was supposed to be. Okay,
yeah.
Well, maybe
But I know where you're coming from. I do.
If I get the DC app like you have, maybe I'll start over from there.
Yeah. I think you should. That would be a good idea. I read Superman Action Comics Volume 2, Welcome to the Planet. This is in our system.
Is this title read by Will Smith?
No, but I wish it was. This is okay. This is so nerdy. Again, I'm sorry. The new Superman story is pretty convoluted, where the Superman from this universe is dead. The Superman from the old universe is here. The Lois from the old universe is here. And it's just this, it's a constant like, well, this isn't our world, we got to fit in kind of thing, and it's not working.
I hated that
It
about
is
the
not working.
in the Justice League comics.
Just drop it.
The ones that you had started with, like the Extinction Agenda stuff. It was that Superman,
Yeah.
and it's just like they're like, "Oh, what was your Flash like?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Stop it!"
I know. Yeah.
Somebody
So-
have an infinite crisis and kill this guy.
As much as I love Superman, that's not
Yeah.
really working. The one thing that I did find in this deep dive that I would never have read otherwise was Sinestro Volume 1. So Sinestro is a Green Lantern villain who's also a Green Lantern in charge of the Yellow Sinestro Corps. He's got his own book now,
With great fear.
and it's very good.
Yeah.
The first volume is really good. He's
Okay.
kind of separated. His people are all dispersed, and he kind of goes on this mission to try to bring them back together and save all the refugees from his planet. And they're all like, "No, we hate you. You're a monster. We don't want your help." You know.
Right.
And he's like, "No, I just want to help you." You know. So it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm gonna stop talking about it now.
Aw.
I am currently reading Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
A gift from this guy over here.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, you gave this to me. You don't remember?
No.
You did. You even wrote inside of it. Well, that's not my copy. That's a display copy. That's a library copy.
Okay.
You said like now.
Oh,
you're in
I
the
didn't give you
world of-
my copy, or I did.
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, did you like it?
Look, I read this when I was 19, so
Okay.
yes, I liked it because I thought it was very cool. I don't know. You shared a picture of them talking about how one of the characters puts in
Yes.
his CD-ROM
Yeah.
that has the picture of
Oh,
every
excuse
known.
me.
Yeah.
His CD-ROM disc.
Yeah, his
Go on.
CD-ROM disc,
Yeah.
and it said that disc had photos of every known terrorist.
Wow. Yeah.
And
I'll
like,
tell you what.
Yeah.
In 2011, my man rated this 5 stars.
yeah, that was me remembering how much I had liked it. It took me a
Oh,
while
I
to get to it, but once
It's good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's basically John Clark is setting up, but Rainbow Six is the unit.
right, the anti-terrorist team.
Yeah, and he's,
Yeah. This book then became a nonstop video game franchise.
yeah,
So
it's true.
mostly
It's true.
multiplayer.
Eric rated it 5 stars. My good friend Chris, who was on our soccer episode, 4 stars.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's 2 positive reviews.
I don't know where I would rate it now if I
Yeah.
read it now, but
It's good. It's holding
Okay.
my interest. I mean, it's a commitment. It's like 900 pages.
when's the last time you read a Clancy book?
Oh, gal.
Well, you read those Gray Man stuff, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's not Clancy. That's Mark.
No.
That's Mark Greeny's
Okay.
Gray Man. I read Hunt for Red October
Oh, wow.
maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I read Tom Clancy's Hawk,
All right.
which is separate. But
Mhm.
yeah, John Clark's basically got a little like elite force that's
Mhm.
going out.
I think this is like 96.
maybe
Yeah.
going out and helping specific things.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
All right.
I finished Hunt for Red October in 2013. So
Oh, there you go.
not that long ago.
Yeah, my Goodreads says 2011, but that's when I started Goodreads
I
and was putting
understand.
stuff on. So it would have been like 2005
Okay.
when I read
hmm
that. So different times.
I have to. I'm gonna put this aside for a while because I have to read our Around
club?
the Universe. Around the Universe. I'm still in the Universe of Stories
yeah,
setting.
no, that's
Our
over.
Around the World book club. We're focusing on Mexico. I'm reading Chloe Sunder's. No, sorry, Chloe
The book is
Orridge's
called Asunder.
Asunder.
Yes.
And we had our first meeting on Sandra Cicerno's house on Mango Street.
Mhm.
It was a great discussion. So join us for this next one. It's going to be September 3rd over at the Creative Arts Center, 3:30. We've got copies here. So
Okay.
I have to put Hunt for Red. What's this
Rainbow
called?
Six.
Rainbow Six aside so that I can read Asunder.
Yeah.
And then we're also maybe going to be talking about some Mark Twain because we've got Mark Twain program coming to
Yeah.
the library in September. You
Yeah,
excited about
hopefully
that?
he's cleaned up his language since the
I hope he
early
has.
1800s.
I do hope he has. Since his appearance in Star Trek The Next Generation, I think.
Oh, really?
Time Zero Parts 1 and 2. I think it's the last time Mark Twain
Was really big.
put out some new work. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
Is Elijah Wood going to
anyway,
come? Isn't he contractually obligated to appear at every Mark Twain event?
I think he does have to come.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to ask him about Back to the Future Part 2. But
Elijah. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's a game for babies.
That was, yeah. You mean you got to use your hands? That's it for me.
Okay.
Bookmark wise.
Yeah, cool.
Long. It was a long conversation.
About Green
Can we
Lantern.
talk more about the Green Lantern Corps?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here's the thing. Do
Join us on our separate podcast,
you want to do a Green Lantern podcast?
Green Lantern's Light,
Wow.
the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
I'll do it.
We're also workshopping this spaghetti author
where
idea.
we
We'll
interview an
figure-
author and we all eat spaghetti together. I think that'd be great. I think it'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah.
Did we cut
Spaghetti's-
that out? Did we cut that out?
Cut that thing out?
No, did we cut it out of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't hear. One of our
All
authors
right.
we interviewed was eating spaghetti.
Yeah.
Um,
we cut out the spaghetti, and I kind of
yeah.
regret it in
The
hindsight.
thing, though, is that spaghetti's so cheap.
And delicious.
Right, but it's just so you're not going to break the bank
You're not.
giving a spaghetti dinner.
No.
So
No. You're
why
not.
don't more people just eat spaghetti? I'm going to have spaghetti tonight.
I eat spaghetti.
Yeah.
I love it. I had spaghetti over the weekend.
Oh, nice.
Went
Lucky
to my
duck.
favorite Italian restaurant in
Whoa.
Am I allowed to say that? In Springville, called Julie's.
Mhm.
They've got this spaghetti parmesan.
Yeah.
So good.
Nick's doing that
Not my
thing with his
favorite.
hands.
I
to let me
wasn't.
know that
I
it's
wa-
a number one
I wa-
spaghetti place.
Not on purpose. It just happened. Eric once called L'Italia the spaghetti store.
Listen, I couldn't remember what it was.
You called it the spaghetti store.
Yeah. I wasn't feeling very salient that day.
Salient.
Oh,
Which is
jeez.
what Mike Nesmith called me, and I don't appreciate you
All right.
throwing it back
Let's
in
get
my
to book
face.
news.
Let's do it.
Book news.
We don't have one.
All
You
right.
should have got your Overclock Remix pals to Overclock Remix us a book news segment.
Mhm.
Can you do that?
Maybe.
Call him back up.
But Ben Lehman's our only guy.
I know.
We'll give them something Ben Lehman has done, and we'll
and
ask them
remix
to remix it.
That's perfect. That's a great idea.
There you go.
Boy, nice job on those Overclock Remix episodes, by the
Thank
way.
you.
It's
Those are
getting,
fun.
It's getting a lot of attention. So
Yeah.
if you're a new listener because of that, I hope you
Welcome.
enjoyed the Green
Green
Lantern talk. In for a penny, in for a pound, Overclockers.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
Green
it.
Lantern and Rainbow Six and The Firm.
Yeah.
We're trapped in the 90s.
Wow, I guess we are.
Only 90s kids will recognize this.
CD-ROM disc.
Hey, if we can talk about one more slightly nostalgic thing before we
You know
move on to
what?
book news.
Nostalgia me this, baby. Let me hear it.
I just, for no reason at all, I was like, whatever happened to Eddie McDowell?
I don't know who that is.
Do you remember 100 Good Deeds of Eddie McDowell?
Don't know what
He
that
was a
is.
bully who was turned into a dog, and he had to had to perform 100 good deeds.
Is this a show?
This was a Nickelodeon television show.
Oh, wow.
From
It's
2000,
like a dark wishbone.
2002, I believe.
Huh.
Anyway, it was canceled after he'd only done 40 deeds.
How many did he need to do?
100.
So he's still in like
He's still
some
in
sort of dog purgatory?
Yeah, he's still a dog.
Yikes. That is chilling.
Anyway, I don't even know how I got on that. I was just typing. I was like, whatever happened to Eddie McDowell?
Yeah.
Dog. Still a dog.
Huh. You think Alex Mack is still out there?
Does she still have her powers? She lost her powers.
Did she lose her powers?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Everything blew up.
I don't know. I can't think about Alex Mack being out there. I'm married. I can't.
All right, so book news.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the hardcover fiction of New York Times bestsellers list. Hardcover fiction, top 10.
Okay.
The 10 books on the hardcover fiction. Number 10, City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
89-year-old Vivian Morris looks back at the direction her life has taken when she entered the 1940s New York theater scene. Are you going to read this, Nicholas?
No, I don't think so. What did she write? Is she Eat, Pray, Love, or is that somebody else?
You'll have to research that, just as you researched that other thing.
Why
you
do
did.
we even have a senior intern if I'm always the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's ask her.
Elizabeth Gilbert wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Okay.
With no thanks to Roger, our senior intern.
Number 9,
Bad
Undercurrents by Nora Roberts. Echoes
Oh.
of violent childhood reverberates for Zane Bigelow when he starts a new kind of family in North Carolina's Blue Ridge Mountain. That new kind of family? A robot
Wildcats.
family.
Oh.
You said Wildcats.
Sorry.
A Wildcat family.
Sorry.
You beat me to
A
just
family
robots.
of robots would be good.
Yeah, robot
I think
Wildcats.
a family of wildcats, though.
Yeah.
I guess that's more like a J.A. Jance kind of story.
Like at
not
the-
a Muppet, if
Mhm.
I could just point out. J.A. Jance is not a Muppet.
So at the end of this, of Undercurrents, of this Nora Roberts book for you, Zane Bigelow is going to have to choose whether he keeps the wildcat or he lets it go into the wild where it belongs.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cute.
That's cute. It's
What
heartbreaking.
if years later he goes back and that wildcat recognizes him and gives him a big hug?
a wildcat hug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes.
Oh, yeah, with lions.
People raise a lion and they come back, and instead
Yeah.
of getting mauled, the lion's like, "Where have you been?"
Yeah. Sometimes people raise tigers and those tigers eat them.
Let me ask you a real question.
Okay.
We have an episode 47, called J.A. Jance is Not a Muppet,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know what that episode's about. Do you?
I don't remember what the main episode's about.
Yeah.
But we got onto that because J.A. Jance made me think of Janice the Muppet.
Right.
And you said J.A. Jance is not a Muppet.
She's not.
Yeah.
Janice is, though.
I knew.
Like, hey,
yeah.
man.
We used to title the
Janice.
earlier episodes with the whatever nonsensical thing we said.
I like it. I like that. I miss it.
Now it's just like
Yeah.
this spotlight,
Yeah.
this interview.
Thanks Nostradamus was one of my favorite episode titles.
Thanks for nothing,
that we did.
Nostradamus.
No, it was just Thanks Nostradamus.
Okay. Number 8 this week is new this week. Chances Are by Richard Russo.
Yeah.
No, Richard Russo, not again. 3 men
I'll
in
tell you
their
what. Let me tell you this, though.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's fool
Uh-huh.
made us fools. But Bridge of Sighs remains one of my very favorite books.
Yeah.
And I like that old Cape Magic, too. So maybe this will be more like those and less like Nobody's Fool.
Three men in their 60s who met in college reunite on Martha's Vineyard, where mysterious events occurred in 1971.
Unusual.
Does like writing about old men who have a lot of regrets.
Yeah,
but
he
also
does.
don't realize they should regret those things.
Hmm.
Don't you have a lot of regrets?
That
What's
old-
the point?
That old Cape Magic was also kind of about
Mm-hmm.
older people with
Yeah,
regrets.
I should regret things, but I live in a house without a microwave.
I don't know. You're on your way. Pretty soon you'll be an older person with regrets.
I'm only 33. I
Really?
only just turned 33.
Really?
Yes. You can tell by the few wrinkles on my face.
What are
and
you
the-
eating?
What? Freeze pops and Cheetos.
Oh, no. No.
Number 7 new this week, Labyrinth. Not
The
a
David
novelization.
Bowie-
No, not a novelization of the David Bowie Jennifer
A
Connelly film.
sequel.
No,
A sequel
this
to
is
the-
not Labyrinth 2. Can't be done. David Bowie has passed. And Jennifer Connelly, I think she would do it.
You think Jennifer Connelly would do it? Will she do a sequel to The Rocketeer? Where she becomes the Rocketeer.
Oh snap!
Right?
I'd see that film.
Yeah.
Uh,
How do we make that happen?
we
I
gotta
mean,
get a-
Disney owns it, right?
do they?
What do they care?
Yeah,
They
Joe,
can do anything they
Do we
want.
bring back Joe Johnson?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Rocketeer is good.
He
yeah.
did. Did he do Jurassic Park 3?
Yes.
Well,
Also did a few other films.
okay. Good films.
Jumanji, I think.
I love Jumanji.
Yeah.
Bring him back. Bring him
All
back. But I want. Oh, Timothy Dalton died in The Rocketeer. He's
yeah.
alive in real life. He's on Doom Patrol, but
Yeah.
he did die in The Rocketeer.
Well, you just brought a new villain.
Yeah. Okay. Gonna be another. Roger Moore's dead. Darn
You
it.
bring in Sharon Stone.
Pierce Brosnan.
Okay.
Can Pierce Brosnan be the
Sure.
villain? Okay.
So Labyrinth, the book, is by Catherine Coulter. This is the 23rd book in the FBI thriller series. Agents Savick and Sherlock wend their way through a maze of lies to get to
Savick?
the bottom of a secret.
Savick from The Wrath of Khan.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
It's not Lieutenant Savick
No.
from The Wrath of Khan.
No. So this is a metaphorical labyrinth. That's a little discouraging.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So.
It's a metaphor.
Oh, no. My mother issues are like a minotaur in this metaphorical labyrinth,
Really?
I guess.
Wow.
Number 6, Summer of 69.
Hey, we just saw Bryan Adams.
And Billy Idol.
I know, but yeah, I brought up Bryan Adams because of the title. Is it really called Summer of '69?
Yeah.
We just saw Bryan Adams
Yeah, and Billy Idol.
and Billy Idol. We're saving this for our concert spotlight, but I'll
Mhm.
tell you what, Billy Idol knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Billy Idol knows what he's doing.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
By Ellen Hildebrand, the Levin family undergoes dramatic events with a son in Vietnam, a daughter in protest, and a dark secret hiding beneath the surface. That dark secret? Wildcats.
And it can be found in the center of their emotional labyrinth.
Oh, jeez. Number 5, it's called Dark Age by Pierce Brown. All that this says is the 5th book in the Red Rising series.
Oh.
So, Nick
Is
only
it
cares
anything
about-
like the 4th book? Or is it more like the 3rd?
I don't know.
You're not sure? Okay.
No. Number 4, The New Girl by Don't Screw Me Up
Zoe Deschanel.
by Daniel Silva.
Hey, good for you.
Gabriel Allen, the chief of Israeli intelligence, partners with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, whose daughter is kidnapped.
We got a huge box of pristine paperback copies of Daniel Silva's early stuff.
Oh.
So this is your one-stop shop for Daniel Silva work right here at the David A. Howe Public Library.
Yeah. The Nickel Boys is at number 3.
It's about Nickelback?
No.
Nobody likes Nickelback.
D-
Nickelback and Bobby Flay, nobody likes.
Uh-huh.
What's the Nickelback song?
Burning a phonograph every time.
Okay. Did they sing, "This is how you remind"?
Yeah.
That's the Nickelback?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the singer of Nickelback sang the song "Hero" for
Like, when a
Spider-Man.
hero comes along. That one?
no.
Okay.
The
I could be your hero, baby.
No.
Okay.
for the Spider-Man movie.
I don't remember.
They say the hero will save us. It's not gonna stand here and wait.
Wow.
I'm in the arms of an
Hey,
angel.
keep going. We're gonna have to pay for it. I don't want to.
Then, all right, this is gonna go real down.
Oh,
now.
hold on now. Because I was going to get this on audiobook because even though I didn't love Underground Railroad, I was intrigued by it and I liked his writing.
Mm-hmm.
Colson Whitehead here on the Nickel Boys. It is a dark, upsetting story.
Yeah, I know.
So let's just take a pause before we continue.
Okay.
We're not talking about Nickelback anymore.
Okay.
Proceed.
The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. Two boys respond to horrors at a Jim Crow era reform school in ways that impact them decades later.
Yowzer.
Number 2.
Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Read it.
I couldn't read it.
Oh,
yeah. Too upsetting.
Might I suggest Lovecraft County?
I don't think so. No.
I think you can handle that.
You do?
Yes.
If nothing else, I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Number 2, One Good Deed by David Baldacci. A World War II veteran on parole must find the real killer in a small town or face going back to jail. Looking for a killer in a small town.
Oh, that's what you're doing. I was going for just a small town, but
Killer.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, small towns, they can give it a lot.
Yeah.
Speaking of small town killers,
Yeah.
Mindhunter.
Obesity.
Mindhunter season 2 is coming back.
Oh, okay.
And obesity hasn't left us. Number 1.
Mindhunter 2 is coming back. You were all in for that show.
Yeah.
And I remember many times you being like, just where's the next season of Mindhunter?
Yeah.
And now you got your wish.
Yeah, that's about to show up.
Sometimes that can bite you.
That's true.
That can bite you.
My wife.
I watched the reboot of Murphy Brown. I was the only one.
Right.
It was
well, this
just
isn't
me and Candace Bergen.
This isn't going to be a reboot of Mindhunter.
Not a reboot.
It's just season 2.
It's
so
a
this is
sequel.
like if Murphy Brown got a season 2.
Okay.
Did it?
No. I was the only one watching it. Me and Candace Bergen.
Okay.
Together.
Sorry. My wife watched Mindhunter
Okay, that's one.
after I had.
Yes.
And I informed her we're still not watching Mindhunter together. She can
Really?
watch it on her own time. I'm
Really?
gonna watch it on my own.
Drawing that line in the sand,
Yeah.
huh?
Mindhunter is a show I watch by myself. Thank
That's
you very
your...
much.
Yep.
Number 1, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. In a quiet town. Nothing?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
On the North Carolina coast in 1969,
Uh-huh.
a young woman who survived alone
Yeah.
in a marsh
Yeah.
becomes a murder suspect.
Superhero.
No, murder
Oh,
suspect.
darn it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit of inside scoop on this book. This is now, what, 2 years old?
How many months are in a year?
52.
How many?
No, that's weeks.
How many weeks are in a
This
month?
count by weeks.
This is 47 weeks.
47 weeks. Okay, well, that's almost a year.
Yeah.
That's almost a year.
Yeah.
But that's because it went off. Remember, it was on and then it went off and then it came back on. I think we're pushing 2 years on this. We have the audiobook. I just ordered large print, and we have 2 copies. Would you like to know the number of holds that are on this book currently?
All of them?
56.
Jeez Louise.
56 holds
Yeah.
are on this book.
Reese Witherspoon is a book recommending god.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. No one went to see This Is War, but I guess suddenly her taste is good. Okay.
Sorry. I like when Tom Hardy gets brought down to our level.
Well,
Yeah. Chris Pine and Tom Hardy.
Chris Pine and Tom Hardy's the only time I've ever seen Tom Hardy's face. The one and only time.
Yeah.
No
And he-
accent.
Yeah.
Nothing covering his face.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was funny because he was actually
No,
playing
it wasn't funny. I don't
was
know.
playing
Was it
Chris
even a
Pine.
comedy? I don't even know if it was.
This Is War. It was supposed to.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like
Okay.
spy versus spy.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Anyway, Reese Witherspoon likes the movie This Is War, and she also likes Where the Crawdads Sing.
Well,
so.
just because she's in it doesn't mean she likes it.
Oh, you think it was a pay the bill situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Jamie Kennedy didn't like The Son of the Mask.
Don't you bring that up. Don't you bring that up.
I'm sorry. All right.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That was number 1.
That is still number 1.
Yes.
Boy, credit where credit's due, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I get tired of hearing of it. It's a
Mhm.
bit of a Nightingale situation,
Mhm.
but
Well, maybe you'll have like a
time.
Nightingale thing where you fall in love.
here's the thing. I read
What was that?
it's my nook. I'm sorry.
Ah.
I read the Nightingale
Uh-huh.
after a full year of being like, go away, and I kind of liked it.
So maybe now.
Where the Crawdads Sing. I actually have a copy sitting right over here.
My wife loved Where
Does
the
she?
Crawdads Sing.
Well.
She gave it 5 stars. She used language in her review I thought she only reserved for me,
Oh,
like in terms of how much she loved the
a lot
book.
of swearing, or
No.
okay.
She just talking about how beautiful the writing was and how much it moved her.
She tells you you're beautiful.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Doesn't your wife? Doesn't your wife like Nick?
My wife does not talk about your beauty. No, she
no,
doesn't.
of course not.
Oh,
Don't you ever come downstairs with your hair combed and your tie on and your wife
Yeah.
is like, "You are beautiful."
beautiful?
Yeah.
I don't. No, I don't
Okay.
think she
does
said
question.
beautiful. Yeah.
Does Christina Aguilera ever tell you you're beautiful?
Is that a song? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
You're beautiful.
Okay. all
You're
right.
beautiful.
All right.
It's true.
Yeah. One Direction tells me that because I don't know that I am, that is why that I am.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? We need some music to break this up, and we're definitely going to hear this live. So Eric, play the music.
There it was.
Still one of my favorite themes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That talented little guy,
Mm-hmm.
3'4" and musical talent up the wahoo. I just can't believe. I can't believe that little guy. This week
This is a pocket knife, but maybe it could be used as a banana.
What is
or
this
a
for?
cell
Are you
phone?
doing more acting games?
Yes.
Jeez. This is going to become the lost episode of all the books.
Oh, jeez.
No. This week we're doing a Lonely Hearts book club. I told you a little bit at the top, but this is
sure
what I
did.
do. I run a report. I find something that in the history of this great building, 82 years we've been here, I find something that's either never checked out
Uh-huh.
or it hasn't checked out in so long that it predates the computer age, like Joe Biden. This is this is from. Let me see how long we've had this.
Okay.
Let me tell you the original
All right. Little story
publication
about a
date.
book.
1992. So we have had this since 1992. Eric, fresh out of college, could have bought this book.
That was a contemporary with the movie Aladdin.
This is by Jim Weikart. Original cover price $19.95. It is called Harry's Last Tax Cut, a J. Jason mystery.
Goodness.
What do you think? Do you like that title?
Harry's Last Tax Cut
Yeah,
by Jim Weikart?
Weikart.
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 Okay.
Weikart. Do you like the
Uh-huh.
title?
I guess it.
I don't really like the title.
I guess it sounds
It's
like a
too
90s
many
movie.
steps. It's too many steps, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The Last Tax Cut.
Okay.
Harry's
sure.
Last Cut.
The Last
and then
Tax Cut.
Then you get the pun when you read
sounds
it.
like a Michael Connolly.
The Last Tax Cut. I think it's just last and tax together. Something about it just bogs it down.
Okay.
I don't know. The cover looks not unlike a tract you might find in the basement of your church telling you about the dangers of hell. It is all
That's true.
it is all it's some taupes and some burgundies and some pinks. You have a man.
Sure, my friends seem like they're having
Oh,
fun, but is it
oh.
worth trying marijuana?
Exactly. That's exactly what it looks like. I get it. The cover is a man's hand, or a man or woman's hand, sort of clutched. And I thought there was a shadow behind it, but
Totally
I think
clutched.
I think that it's blood.
Cool.
I think that it's blood. And they've dropped their telephone book in a pile of blood. I'm sorry, blood doesn't pile, it pools. In a pool of blood.
And it's purple.
It is purple. It is
This
purple.
whole
It
thing
looks-
is grape.
It looks like this man had Welch's grape juice and dropped it on this Bible tract. Kirkus Review says, richly entangling second take on
Oh, you think it's grape juice?
Jason.
You can kind of figure out the denomination then.
That's true. You're right. You're right. We're looking at you, Lutherans. A truly novel hero. He will cut his way into your chest with a big tax on your late hours.
Oh, is this a murder?
It is. It is.
Oh, the tax cut. He's cutting you.
Harry's last tax cut. But I think you could say the last
Whoa.
cut,
Uh-huh.
and then you know that it's a tax cut when you
Right.
read the book. There's the payoff.
So is Ray the last Jedi?
Right.
Or
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Harry the
It's
last
Harry
tax
the-
cut
yeah,
Jedi?
I understand. The Kirkus Review is awkwardly written, and that's nothing to say about this author.
Uh-huh. It's
Look,
purple on the back.
look at the whiteness of these pages,
Yeah.
the crisp whiteness of
so
these
clean
pages.
for a 1992 book.
I'm going to say probably did not get
Yeah.
any action.
It looks like it got a little water damage from our pipes.
There's no dates.
Oof.
There's no date stamped in here.
Oof.
And I was looking
You
this
hate to
book
see
up.
that.
I was looking this book up,
Uh-huh.
and it's very little on this book. There's one Goodreads review on it, which
Oh.
I believe is a 3-star.
Okay.
I think there's one.
It's Jim Weikart.
Yeah, on online shopping
Even
there.
he only gave it 3
There's
stars.
one-star review,
Uh-huh. Ooh.
and that's pretty much it.
Mhm.
I found the author's website. He still has an active website. He's published. This is the second of the J. Jason mysteries. The first was Casualty Loss. Casualty Loss.
Okay,
That
sure.
doesn't really roll off the tongue either, though. I don't know. So he's basically he's a accountant who solves mysteries. I think is the premise that we're going for. And let me tell you some of the. Sorry, I'm just confused.
Yeah.
Let me tell you some of the reviews for Casualty Loss, as printed on the back of this copy of
All
our
right, this
book.
is reviews for a different book.
This is the first book of the J. Jason mysteries. The
All right.
first one,
J. Jason.
enigmatically
Matt Maddoxon.
says, "Written with real feeling for children."
What?
What does that mean?
What?
It's written with real feeling for children.
Yeah, so this is the Tom Thomas mystery?
But you pick this up and you don't know anything about the first book, and that certainly doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
It's written with feeling for children?
Yeah.
Okay. Rendezvous says a fast read, okay, with many twists and turns to keep the suspense building. Richard Langford from the Sun News said of Casualty Loss, the first book, the players in this slightly quirky mystery are well characterized, and readers will be interested in what happens to them. That doesn't seem
Okay, sure.
That seems like faint praise.
You will like the characters.
if anything. You'll want to know what happens at the end of the
Yep.
book. John
The
Barthel,
plot had details.
best-selling author of A Death in California.
Oh.
We should do that. From now on, we should pick a book referenced on the current
Oh,
book.
jeez.
Brisk and lively, entirely contemporary, a first-rate puzzle. I felt I knew the characters. Quirky, loving, temperamental, devious, and more. In other words, straight out of real life. Thank you, Joan.
Quirky
All right.
and loving.
Quirky and loving. Harry's last
All
tax
right.
cut.
So this is a Carl Carlson mystery.
No, this is a J. Jason. I keep wanting to say J. Jansen because that sounds cool. J.
Right.
Jason
Yeah.
doesn't sound cool.
Yeah.
J. Jason should have known
The
better.
Will Williamson book.
Harry Sage was drunk when he offered Jay a partnership in a new business. The deal was made in a bar, and Jay had no idea whatsoever
Don't
of
make a
what
deal in a
he'd
bar.
agreed to join. Only a few days later, Harry calls in a panic.
Oh,
He
no.
wants to buy Jay's share of the business. Right now, an hour later, Harry Sage is dead. Jay is the prime suspect, and lots of people, none of them with Jay's health and well-being in mind, want to talk to him.
Now, who would?
And there are a few people Jay wants to speak to.
Uh-huh.
Harry's ex-wife, Harry's mistress,
You know who didn't want to talk to Harry's ex-wife? Harry.
Oh. Harry's mistress,
Uh-huh.
the women named in Harry's little black book, which is on the cover. Some of the women's names are Sarah, Karen, Sam, Tara, Laura, JJ, Babes, Jeanette.
You sure that's not Babs?
It says Babes.
I think that's Babs.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe it's Bibis. Harry's secretary topped the list and quickly added themselves to the list of suspects.
Uh-huh.
There are others too, all of whom are mixed up in something very big and very dangerous.
Uh-huh.
The only facts Jay has are summed up in the promise Harry made to him. It's a tax business with lots of women, which Jay has now witnessed,
Okay.
and lots of money. He knows how to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Jay's business is taxes and dealing with the IRS, but murder and being the next target of a killer is something else again. And not
What?
is something else again,
Uh-huh.
and not nearly as much fun.
Are the mistresses you have on a side considered a tax deductible?
Are you supporting them?
I don't know.
You could probably write off the if you're renting an apartment for the mistress. I think that you can write that off if you say it's a business expense. If it is a business expense, I'm not suggesting tax fraud. I'm just saying in the world of J. Jason, I think they'd find a workaround.
Okay, yeah.
No one's suggesting tax
Yeah.
fraud.
Tax fraud will be your last tax cut.
I'm gonna read you a little bit. Jacket illustration by Doug Andelin. Well,
Eric Erickson mystery.
Doug, this jacket, I think, go back to the Methodists. Jim Weikart is a partner in Weikart Tax Associates in New York City. In the off-season, he devotes himself entirely to writing. Harry's Last Tax Cut is the second in the series featuring J. Jason, introduced in Casualty Loss.
Mm-hmm.
The author's website is jimweikart.com, and there's information about this and the previous books, as well as his tax tips and some of his writing that appeared in Ellery Queen, workshops, interviews. It's a pretty good website. I'm not gonna lie. So
Okay.
you go there, Jim Weikart. All right, Harry's Last Tax Cut.
A
Eric.
Doug Douglas mystery.
All right, Tonyson was strolling. No, it's for Lynn. Chapter 1.
Uh-huh.
Enrolled agents. Nobody knows who the hell we are. It's just not known like a lawyer or CPA. But hey, if you want something expert done about your taxes, we're the folks for you.
Uh-huh.
Carol and I both passed our 2-day enrollment agent exams at the IRS in the past year, which gave our partnership some credibility. Harry Sage wanted a piece of it. The credibility, I mean. I seem to attract more than my share of trouble. Tax trouble, that is.
What? It doesn't really say that.
It does.
Okay.
And Harry's partnership proposal was trouble from the start.
Girls are my game. Tax trouble is
First,
also
he was
my game.
stupid not to have included Carol. But maybe that's my fault. I didn't know. The real trouble started in the wee hours of a Friday morning. My stomach was churning, trying to digest Julia's dinner of arroz con pollo and black bean soup, and I had just fallen into a restless sleep when the phone woke me. I flicked on the light, stared at the phone for a couple of extra rings. I don't like phones in the middle of the night. Bad news, it was 1:30. The last time it rang at
1:30
this
is the middle
hour,
of the night?
my brother was dead.
Oh, jeez Louise.
I know.
Sorry.
I picked it up. J. Jason? Yeah, I said. It's Harry. My stumbling mind tried a mental picture and came up with nothing.
Same.
Harry Sage, he said into the quiet.
Oh.
Harry? I said then, seeing him. A big guy with a wide face that smiled blue-eyed, stupidly or sincerely, depending on your point of view. Blonde hair on the long side and big farmer hands. Oh, okay. Listen, Harry, this isn't a good time for... An emergency has come up, Jay. I have someone here who wants to buy out our partnership.
Oh, jeez.
Now. Tonight.
Okay.
The silence from my end. Look,
Go on.
I am kind of intrigued at what's happening here. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say to you folks that I think that it's good that its tax business was a...
Yeah.
But don't you kind of want to know?
He gets his fair share of trouble.
The
Tax trouble.
Yeah. An emergency has come up, Jay. The silence from my end lasted
I don't want no
so
tax
long.
trouble.
Harry must have thought I'd hung up on him. Sure, he had sent me a partnership agreement to sign, and sure, he had already signed it himself, but he hadn't had to listen to Carol blasting me and him day after day, and I didn't even know enough to tell her what the hell it was about. Jay, can you hear me? Yes, and I'm glad you called. I've been trying to reach you for the last few days, Harry. But what I want to tell you right now is that I can't stop reading. That this partnership is off to a bad start. Let's do business from 9 to 5. I expect your call at 9 sharp tomorrow morning. Goodbye, Harry. And I hung up on him.
Nick's stuck. Nick's stuck because he's hooked.
I am.
Nick is a trout with his filthy
I
mouth
am.
hooked.
Listen, I started this with a bad attitude,
Mm-hmm.
due in large part to Doug Andelin's cover design, which
Yeah.
I find lacking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Looks
don't
like
know.
the Grimace was beaten to death with this book.
The McDonald line character, the Grimace.
Yeah.
Okay.
He walked into a place at the wrong time, saw
Now,
what he wasn't supposed to see.
I think
and this was the only weapon the killer had.
I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve about Harry's last tax cut.
Technically, that book is wearing the Grimace's heart on its book sleeve.
There it is, right there. Oh boy.
Apologies to the Grimace estate.
Seriously.
to the Grimace's widow.
So
How many pages is this book?
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Listen, if you're considering reading this book,
I'm
I
not.
will absolutely read this book with you.
How many pages is this book?
199.
You could read that before the end of the day.
199.
If you sat down, you'd be done.
I
Nick is
could.
going to have this book done by next week.
I could do it.
Yeah. Step aside,
You
Rainbow
know what?
Six.
You know what? I have 2 books I have to read for this library, and you can add a third because the J. Jason mystery, Harry's last tax cut,
He's not
has
even
just
starting
won
at the
me over.
beginning. Yeah. You can read the first book like a prequel. You love doing that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I could go back. Do you want a little bit more? I don't think you're going to be sold on this.
I'm not going to be sold. You can pick one for our listeners.
Chapter 7. And again, I don't want to give up. I don't want to give too much away because I'm going to have to read this
Yeah.
book.
You don't want to find out that the sister was the killer.
I don't.
Yeah.
I walked slowly
It's
back
a
into
bad
the
mystery if
office
they gave away the answer at chapter 7.
and got Harry's gun and cartridges out. I
What?
sat at my desk staring at Harry's junk.
Okay.
The phone rang and I picked it up. Why would they murder Harry? She asked without even saying hello. A throaty, soft voice.
Goodness.
Oh, she caught me, I have to admit. I found myself considering her question, trying to find an answer. I ended up just echoing her question. Why would they murder Harry, Donnie? There's no reason. It's gratuitous violence. New York City. I paused again. What if I told you it wasn't a random act, that Harry was murdered for a reason?
Yeah.
A reason for murder? What is it? He was
Well-
very upset yesterday, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
If you were close to Harry, you know things that could put this together.
Mm-hmm.
She started to cry. After Fran Papa's heavy metal bawling, her crying sounded like a Brahms symphony.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question. If somebody's murdered, but it's an accident,
Yeah.
that's manslaughter.
Yes, yes.
So
often.
anything that's technically a murder
Yeah.
would have a reason then.
I think you're right.
So
I think you're right.
so she's only ever heard of manslaughter.
Look, I know Brian Regan talks about this at length, but why is manslaughter the one that you do when it's
An accident.
lighter?
Yeah.
It's a,
A lighter murder.
Well-
is what you're asking.
if you like push a coffee table.
Gosh.
If you push a coffee table off a balcony,
Uh-huh.
for example.
And it kills somebody. That's lighter for you. This book is
Instead of premeditated.
Listen, you need to know something.
Okay.
There was a Nick before Harry's last tax cut, and there's a Nick after Larry's tax cut. I said Larry's tax
If
cut.
Eric is found murdered because a coffee table fell on his head, it's purely coincidental.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I said. I wish I could tell you that it's going to be okay, but I'd be lying. But I'm truly sorry.
By the way, have you ever had jalapenos? They're delicious. Sorry, that was off topic. again.
Jalapenos are delicious? Because you have to repeat everything
Yeah.
that's said. Look,
They can be if they're jalapeno poppers. Have you ever fried them? Why would anybody fry them? And why was Harry murdered?
why would anybody fry them? And why was Harry murdered? I gotta tell you,
I've never seen two pages of book change somebody. So.
it's hitting me just right. Maybe it's all the Tom Clancy that I've been stuck in. Maybe it's all the Green Lantern. And suddenly,
You said you were enjoying Tom
I am
Clancy, but
enjoying
now
it.
you just described yourself as being stuck in it.
I am enjoying it. But Harry's last tax cut
Yeah.
was like a weird breath of fresh air.
I have no idea how to edit this podcast.
I don't think you should.
I don't know how to
I think
edit
the
this
people
episode.
I think the people need to know.
Do I edit it so Nick doesn't sound like he's planning to drop a coffee table off the building and see what
Accidentally,
happens?
that's the whole point. It's an
Right.
accident.
Okay.
Maybe I was moving furniture. Maybe I was painting and needed the coffee table out of the
Okay.
way. And then maybe it just kind of fell over the edge. I didn't know you were down there. Manslaughter.
Why didn't you pick like Matthew Broderick running somebody over with his car?
I'm not going to
as an
drop a coffee
example?
table on Matthew Broderick.
But Matthew Broderick did kill somebody with his car.
He did?
Yes,
Wow.
I think.
Do you?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, there's a place to edit.
All right.
Look, at the end of the day, I think that this feels a little clunky and feels a little amateurish, but it's also winning me over. So maybe that's just style I'm reading into it, you know? What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think that it is hitting you just right and you should read it. 1987, Matthew Broderick has just finished a movie. Broderick, 25, was driving when at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he and Gray, 27, pulled out into a gas station.
Why are you telling this dark story?
Several months. Wow, they really, in the 80s, they did not. Okay. Broderick car collided head-on with a Volvo driven by Anna Gallagher, 28. She and her mother, Margaret Dorothy, at 63, were both pronounced dead. Broderick was rushed to the same hospital with face cuts and a badly broken right leg.
Yikes.
Still got the role in Lion King.
I guess so.
So, there you go.
Well, you know what? I think that it's been forgotten. I think that it needs to be rediscovered, and I'm going to rediscover it, and I will tell you next week if the journey was worth it.
Was it?
I don't know. I'll
We'll
tell you
find
next
out, yeah.
week. I'll tell you
We'll
next
know.
week.
Goodness.
All right. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Jim Weikart has brought a lot of joy to this podcast
Nick's
today.
going to come to next episode, hair dyed red.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a whole new look.
Yep.
Jeans, acid wash
Yeah.
jeans.
A shirt that says "I killed the grimace."
He's going to be really into 19...
Gordon Lightfoot. How about that?
You're going to be really into Gordon
I'll be really into
Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot.
All right, yeah.
All right, listen. This and other treasures like it are available in our stacks. If you visited the David A. Howe Library and
In
didn't
any
know,
local library.
That's true. But this library in particular, if you didn't know we have a lower level, go downstairs and peruse down there because
Nick has found the lowest level.
that's true. Because titles like this that are unique, that are the only ones in the system, we very rarely will discard because we like to be a storehouse for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you can find some truly interesting things. Some of them are bad, as many a Lonely Book Club
Right.
episodes will tell you.
Yeah.
Some of them might be a diamond in the rough, like Harry's Last Tax Cut.
I read The Wolfen. It
What-
had a movie based on it.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Not really.
Okay. So we'll find out next week because now I'm committed. I'm locked into this, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's going to do it for our Lonely Hearts Book Club.
All right.
You got any library news coming up?
Boy, not for a
Fine,
week
so
or
I know
two.
we're in the
Yeah.
dead zone. I mentioned the book club already. That's September 3rd. We're reading Asunder. Copies available here. Next month, we're also going to be reading Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger as part of our Banned Books Week. We have a ballet from Genesee Dance Theaters happening at 2 o'clock on Saturday, September 17th. It's free. It's right after the Fancy Tea Party, which this year is mermaid-themed. But you can come to the ballet having not come to the tea party. That's fine. They're separate things that just happen to go together.
I
so.
only know two ballets, The Nutcracker and God Save the Queen. And I only know which is
What
which
about
because
Swan
one
Lake?
of them stands up. Oh, darn, you ruined my joke.
Oh, I'm
That's fine. I was stealing it from Monty Python.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have got it because I don't really know Monty Python.
All right.
Anyway, so those are some of the things we have going on. Plus just the regular stuff. We've always got craft classes. We've always got movies being shown. We always have new books coming in. So stop in and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to do it for this episode, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Should do it for
Okay.
this episode.
I think so. All right. Well, yeah, with that,
Yeah.
we bid you adieu.
See you on our Green Lantern podcast.
We'll be there.
Hi, Twitch people.
That got away from us. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Sometimes the spirit just leads us
It does.
into a weird place.
It really does. But
So-
I'm going to have to read this book.
Episode 207 will be known as a turning point for
Yeah.
us.
Sorry, everyone. That was my goof time, and really took over.
Yeah. We've had episodes like this before.
We have.
Feels like it's been a while.
It does.
So-
It's refreshing. It's a nice
A rabbit
change
trail,
of pace.
yeah.
Looking
we used
back.
to go on some pretty heavy rabbit. I think we should have expected it when you started just talking about the Green Lantern lore.
That's
the
true.
way you did.
Yeah.
You're like, and the Orange Lantern is actually just Larfleeze.
How could I not bring up Larfleeze?
I don't know.
Larfleeze has his own comic series available on the DC Universe
gonna read
app.
it?
I might.
Yeah.
I
You
might.
did like Elf and his Larfleeze.
Yeah,
like,
I do. Ha! I missed one volume of the Green Lantern Corps because I was reading it originally and then I stopped and then I picked up and read some of the crossovers. So now of that whole run, there's one that I haven't read. So I might have to go back and just read it just to be a completist.
Yeah,
So,
I hear you.
but now I got to read Harry's Last Tax Cut. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
You'll be done soon.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
All right.
All right. Bye, Twitch.
See ya.